Yeah. Raising to the next level. So, first of all, we must comprehend life in different layers of frequency, different layers of existence. The layer of which we are born into is actually an extremely high frequency existence. If you look at most children, they're all unique in their own way. Maybe they're not all running around with so much energy and character, but they're all extremely unique in a certain way. This uniqueness is so pure, it resonates at a high frequency. It's got charge, it's got an abundance of potential within its existence. And I say within its existence because the existence itself is whole. It's unified within awareness of itself. So it's almost like a supercharged battery. Now what happens is as this individual or existence starts to develop into this reality, like a battery, if being used, it starts to drain. Now a lot of us, we start to live like a fairly empty battery by the age of probably 27, 26. You know, we spend most of our years going through life and analyzing life in a certain way. By the time we're 26, 27, we start to get into ruts where we start to look for escapes. We start to analyze ways to escape. Now, this can be addictions. This could be habits which maybe not truly bringing a greater sense of activation or awareness. But moral of the story is we start to acknowledge that the battery is fairly empty, maybe even less than 3/4 empty. We feel that we need to be recharged every day to fill us up. And this is where we bring alcohol or drugs or even just cheap sex. And, and especially these days. And this stuff isn't negative. It's absolutely not negative. It's part of life and existence itself. But one thing that we can start to understand is that the battery which first came into this life was only so full because it was yet to discover its existence. If we come into this reality, if we're born into this reality, we manifest into this reality, we reincarnate into this reality, we already know the truth of our existence. We are already following a certain path of which all we need to do is awaken to. We just need to come into its alignment. Once we come into its alignment, we become true to our nature. We come true to our existence within destiny. It's this moment when we come into this alignment, come into this truth, come into this destiny, that we come to understand that the illusion is only taking place within the form of the battery. The more we believe in this illusion, the more the battery becomes drained. The more we believe that this reality exists, the more the battery drains. It's partly because the intuition or the existence of one's true self is infinite. It doesn't take form of reality which we look at it. It takes form within the quantum fields of infinite self and infinite possibility, infinite manifestation of infinite existence. And this doesn't have a battery. Doesn't have a human body. I mean, it very may be experiencing itself in a human body, but this is why children have such a high frequency, is because they already know. They don't need to know. They already know, and they just express the expression of themselves in this moment, in that moment. They don't think like we think once we've been programmed to think in a certain way. They just express. They're beings of expression. The very thing of which in divine consciousness we all are. We're beings of expression, beings of imagination. And it's really magical when we start to analyze that the true self is really just the inner child, and that inner child will always be gifted with that existence of innocence, and we all have the power to come back to that innocence and come back to that truth within existence and come back into that form of freedom within this present now moment. And when we do connect into that, we will feel on top of the world. We'll feel the existence of fresh frequency, because that very enlightenment, or that very spark of justice and purity within acceptance of possibility unifies within us, which doesn't take form of a battery. It takes form of the quantum universe of everything manifesting within this existence. So as long as we unify with that existence, we detach from this perception that we are all limited within this world. We're all limited, we're all separated, we're all have this fake perception of time and existence. All we must do is just learn to comprehend that this reality is only a dream. And as long as we open our minds that we are in a dream, we start to perceive this reality as the truth within its existence.